There are two things that define territories: the spirit context and the natural context. Because when we talk about territories, we are not just looking at physical geography, because every physical geography has a spiritual city that regulates it. If you come to the UK, most of you don't know that there's a Babylonian texture here, and there's also a Roman texture here. When you see people gather in stadia watching football, and football has become a god, it is traced to Rome. In the days of the gladiators, that's where the arena, the game of arena began from. And so if you find anywhere that there's arena and people gather, others are performing, and they forget about their sorrows, not because they encounter God. Know that there's a spirit behind that civilization. And so you can go there and watch a match. It's good. It even has a therapeutic effect. It has a medical advantage. But over and above that, there's a spiritual undertone. And if wise men don't rise to guard the atmosphere, many souls will be lost. And so every territory has spiritual cities that regulate them. And some cities enslave like Egypt. Some cities corrupt like Babylon. And some cities create idolatrous systems like Rome. But for those of us who are agents of the kingdom, we must insist that only Zion will rule us. Because in Hebrews chapter 12 verse 22, it says, you have come to Mount Zion, the city of the living God, to an innumerable company of angels. It is called the heavenly Jerusalem. That is where our signals will come from. Jerusalem that is in heaven is a command tower. And so when you find the sun operate, it's because they are signals. Those signals are the things that empower him as an agent of transformation on the face of the earth. But if he doesn't connect to that city, the other cities that will rule him. And every territory sustains these two dimensions. There's a spiritual dimension and there's a physical dimension. The civilizations we find on earth are products of signals that come from spirit cities. And so every agent of transformation, every territory taker must have that level of understanding and refuse to be enslaved by spirit cities that are built from the demonic realm. You must rebel against it and submit to the one that comes from heaven if you will be a leader or a territory taker. Now, when you understand cities, then you also know that every city has rulers. Because the moment you begin to rebel against those cities, you have declared war. They will come for you. Unless you are not a relevant entity in the equation. If you become an agent that advocates for Zion on the face of the earth, it means you are trying to uproot another city, and the rulers will come for you. And we studied from Ephesians chapter 6 that these rulers are a well-structured spiritual organization. It's not a disoriented government. It's a government that is well intelligent and well structured. And we said they are in their order, from principalities to powers to rulers of the darkness of this world, and to spiritual wickedness in heavenly places. Every time you want to bring Zion, these beings will fight you. And I showed you the intelligence with which spiritual cities are built yesterday. I said principalities come first. The word principality is alke. It means first in rank. They are the ones who show up first, and their duty is mapping. When they map the territory, they create spiritual systems that enslave people. And so I showed you yesterday that all of us have different graces. Those who are prophetic, who have ability to see into the spirit realm, their emotional frequencies are also high. And so there is a high tendency of seduction. So when principalities come and they survey a territory and they map a territory, they are looking for those who are prophetic. The moment they find them, they create a unique temptation for them around seduction. And the ones that fall, those ones become the quorum that gives them access into the territory. When they come into a territory, they look for those who are bold and courageous. They know these ones have leadership capacity. They create a unique temptation around pride and ego. And when they fall, they create a quorum, because the heavens belong to God, but the earth belongs to the sons of men. And so they must need the permission of men to enter the territory. But they will need men who are stakeholders. But that is the intelligence of principalities. When they show up and find such men, they will have stake in the territory. The moment that assignment is done, they step back and the powers come. The word powers is the word exousia. They have the authority to bind men to the addictions that are formed. So those men can't pull out. You know, you can start watching pornography and you say you stumbled on it. It's when you want to stop, you now discover you are a slave. You can start smoking and you say, I went to a party, they just said we should. It's when you want to stop, you now discover that what you started with your will take warfare to come out. Because a principality lured you, a power has bound you. If you can't fight, you can't come out. And this is the undoing of men. They think the things they are doing because they like them. You are not doing what you are doing because you like it. You are doing what you are doing because you are lured and you are enslaved in doing it. It's when you want to come out, you discover your will has been subjugated, because there is a superior intelligence walking above this cloud that you are not aware of. And when you continue like that, then spiritual wickedness show up. The word spiritual wickedness is cosmos kratos. Their work is that they are magistrates. What they do is that they write laws. So a point comes when too many people are addicted to the same thing, it becomes a culture in that place. So even if principalities don't come back again, if you come to that territory, you will pick that habit. That's why most of you were living righteous in one location. You relocated to another place and you discover you started having certain temptation. It's a culture, it's a law in that atmosphere. And so when you come there, if your priesthood is not higher than that cloud, you will fall. Give it time. I've seen many virgins who went to territories and they became prostitutes. Not because they wanted to, because they came to a territory where there's a law. You know, you can't enter a territory unless you obey the law. When I was coming, they held us at immigration. Bring your passport, bring this. You enter when you align with the law. The law is the clearance. And so if you come into a territory where a ruler has entered, you will need a priesthood that is strong to undermine what that ruler is doing. All of these are the protocols of accessing the territory before you take it. And that's why only people who have stature can talk about territorial takeover. When we're talking territory, we are not talking to babes. A babe can come because he needs healing, he needs breakthrough, he needs prophecy. Those are not the category of people we are talking to in this conference. We are talking to men who are angry. They want to possess lands. Lord, give me Manchester. Lord, give me Liverpool. Lord, give me. Those are the kind of people we are talking to. They've gone past the level of I want. They are asking what is in the heart of God. I see a contention in Manchester. There is a spirit trying to take over. I see a contention in London. I come as an agent of Zion. I will fight the battles of Elohim. Those are the kind of men we are talking about tonight. Because magistrates have come. You are not aware. Some of them came 200 years. You came to London 20 years ago. You are not yet old in the land, sir. There are laws that have entered this territory before you came. The moment you showed up, you were mapped out before you came. And you must have a priesthood that is higher than the realm where those princes of darkness went to for you to survive the land. Don't you know some pastors came from Africa, now they are selling Oporoko here. They were priests in Africa, but when they came to London, they showed them the texture of the pounds, and they started converting pounds in their head. 1 pound is equal to 200, is equal to 1,800 naira. And when they went to sleep, is 1 is to 1,800. 1 is to 1,800. After 3 months, they discovered Sunday is the only opportunity they have. So now that they can't keep 5 shifts in the week anymore, they should take advantage of Sunday. And pastor is in a kiosk. He's selling Nigerian product. Oporoko is here. Crayfish is here. Ogbono is here. Meanwhile, this was a prophet from Africa. He could enter the third heaven and bring the counsel of God. What happened? He has come into a territory. Laws have been written. Before he came here, the law that was written is that if you cross the Atlantic, your soul must long for pounds. He didn't know. But you see, the way God works is that if you follow God's counsel, all the things the Gentiles seek will be added to you. It says, seek ye first the kingdom and its righteousness, all these things. But it's in Zion they will teach your soul. You may have read it theologically, but your soul cannot interact with that knowledge except as you are sent. When you are sent into the realms of light, then they will speak into your soul. When they speak to your soul, you have gravity. No matter what they do in the territory, it can no longer affect you. But the danger of coming under those laws is that there are spiritual wickedness. They came after the rulers. The word is poneria. They are the ones who afflict men. When you follow the journey for a long time, you'll discover that there's a way that seemeth right unto men. The end is destruction. And so when we want to reclaim territories, it's warfare. It's contention. It's a battle. And this battle is not just with men. It's with gods. It's with princes in the spirit realm. This is why it is not a game for children. Only the mature can fight in the arena. And so we said the first level you come into is that you become a son. Because only sons have the capacity to bear the weight of the kingdom. Isaiah chapter 9 verse 6, it says, unto us a child is born. Thank God for a child.